Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything podcast, and in this episode I'm going to be continuing catching up on all the Big Finish news, and we're now into June 2024, so without further ado, let's get on with it. So we're going to start on the 3rd of June 2024, which is when Dark Gallifrey, the War Master cast, was unveiled, so we'll be talking about the three parts. The War Master Part 1 releases in July 2024, the War Master Part 2 releases in August 2024, and the War Master Part 3 releases in September 2024. So starting off with the War Master Part 1, which stars Lisa Bauman as Bernie Summerfield, David Warner as the Doctor, J.C. Forbes as Cardinal, Chrislam Kohoy as President, Tarji Peterside as the Abomination, and Homer Twombly as the TARDIS. It was written by James Goss and directed by Scott Hancock. The synopsis is, many have sought the legendary Dark Gallifrey over the millennia, but most have been lucky enough to fail. There is another who has his eyes on that glittering prize, however, one who knows how much power can be wielded, the Master himself. Intrigued by rumours of a hidden Gallifrey, the Dark Gallifrey of the Time Lord myth, Bernie Summerfield resolves to find it, but as the Doctor points out, some things should never be found and some doors should never be opened, especially ones that want to be. Next up, the War Master Part 2, which stars Lisa Bauman as Bernie Summerfield, Derek Jacobi as the War Master, and James Masters as Captain John Hart. The War Master Part 2 is written by James Goss and directed by Scott Hancock. The synopsis is as follows. Amid the dreaming spires of Braxall University, Benny is dividing her time between her lectures with Kat and managing the romantic advances of one of her students, John. The new provost, such a nice old man, doesn't approve of their dalliance and advises her not to get involved, for John wants to know about Dark Gallifrey, which is something Ben has done her best to forget and thinks he can help her find it again. The funny thing is, the deep old provost wants to find it first. And finally, the War Master Part 3 stars Lisa Bauman, played by Bernie Summerfield. No, other way around. Stars Lisa Bauman as Bernie Summerfield, Jonathan Carley as the War Doctor, Derek Jacobi as the War Master, and James Masters as Captain John Hart. The War Master Part 3 is written by James Goss and directed by Scott Hancock. The synopsis is as follows. The Master and Captain John are trapped amidst the ruins of Dark Gallifrey, where familiar faces and infinite impossibilities gather. With his dream of the ultimate weapon almost within his grasp, the Master revels in the chaos, but all roads lead to the Abomination. Next up, we are now on to the 8th of June 2024, which is when the Sirens of Time Redux was announced. The Sirens of Time was the first ever Big Finish Doctor Who audio drama. The Sirens of Time Redux will release in November 2024 and will star Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor, Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor, Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor, Nicholas Briggs as the Temperament as judges, Angela Vitis as Commander Redith, and Schmidt, Mark Gatiss as Catherine Smeager, Captain and Knight 2, Andrew Keach as Coordinator Vasnell, Colonel McIntyre as Sancroft, Sarah Mowat as Knight where am I up to? I've forgotten now. Sarah Miller as Knights Commander Lena, Nicholas Pegg as Delegate, Maggie Stables as Ruth Lee, Mike Wade as President, and John Wedmore as Commandant, Lieutenant Zetner, Pilot Asmir, and Subcommander Sodnek. The writer and director of The Silence of Time and The Silence of Time Redux is Nicholas Briggs. The synopsis is as follows. Gallifrey is in a state of crisis, facing destruction at the hands of an overwhelming enemy, and the Doctor is involved in 3 different incarnations, each caught up in a deadly adventure scattered across time and space. The web of time is threatened, and someone wants the Doctor dead. The 3 incarnations of the Doctor must join together to set time back on the right track, but in doing so, will they unleash a still greater threat? Next up, on the 11th of June 2024, was the day that the 4th Doctor Adventures Metamorphosis released, which I previewed at the end of the last episode. It stars Tom Baker as the Doctor, Christopher Nolan as Harry Sullivan, Eleanor Crooks as Naomi Cross, Annette Barnland as the Toymaker, and Madam Bissett, Jeffrey Beavers as the Master, Nicholas Briggs as Padro, Mark Gatiss as Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Isabel Intrid as Alexander Wilding, the Wombat Queen, and Tom, Glenn McCready as Top the Wombat, Michael Fenton Stevens as Charles Jambridge and Wombat Commodore, Robbie Stevens as Lord Charles Pearson, Venice von Stumfingen as Etta Pearson, and Lydia West as Capel. The 4th Doctor Adventures Metamorphosis was written by Aurora Finelli, Matthew Sweet, and Lisa McMullen, and directed by Helen Goldwyn, Nicholas Briggs, and Jamie Anderson. The synopsis is as follows, and this box set contains 3 different stories. From the recent past to the far future, the Doctor, Harry, and Naomi find themselves battling foes old and new. From the malevolence of the Master to the traps of the Toymaker, danger lurks around every corner, and sometimes in the last shape you'd expect. The first story is Matashoka by Aurora Fernley. Each story in this box set is about an hour long. When a strange force drags the TARDIS to Earth, it's clear that the Doctor, Doctor there, it's clear that the Doctor, Harry, and Naomi are up against an incredibly powerful being, and when they encounter Lord Pearson, inventor of games and toys, searching for his vanished daughter, it becomes clear exactly who that being might be. Hide and seek is one of the simplest games devised by man, but in the hands of the Toymaker, it might also become the deadliest. The second story in this box set is titled The Caged Assassin, which is written by Matthew Sweet. It's very unusual to find a tiger in the TARDIS, but it's even more unusual to find one heavily dosed in radiation. But this is far from the most unusual occurrence the Doctor, Naomi, and Harry are going to encounter today, because they're about to be Charles Jambridge, supplier of exotic animals to the rich and royal, who's unaware that his famous imaginary conceals a deadly terror, a strange creature out for blood. The third and final story of this box set is titled Metamorphosis, written by Lisa McMullen. The people of the planet Jaxus are vanishing when the Doctor and his friends land. Naomi is snatched away by a mysterious fog and taken to a prison run by a very old foe of the Doctor's. The Master is here, and he has, as ever, a sinister scheme underway, but neither Naomi nor Harry know who he is. Can the Doctor stop his plans and rescue the prisoners, or will his companions inadvertently aid his enemy's plans? Next up, on the 12th of June 2024, Susan's War, Family Ties, and Grandfather Time are announced, which are the second and third box sets of Susan's War. Family Ties, so the second box set, releases in August 2024 and stars Caroline Ford as Susan, Jonathan Carley as the War Doctor, Sonny McGann as Alex Campbell, Damien Lynch as Cardinal Rasmus, Beth Chalmers as Commander Vecklin, Heather Beesdale as Priestess Vesselina, Sophie Bellsdale as Lux and Pretra, as well as Rosalind Landor as Chief Sethan. Susan's War Family Ties is written by Sarah Cassidy and Peter Angerhalder, and the director is John Ainsworth. The synopsis is as follows. No Gallifreyan was safe from the Time War while the Doctor resisted the call. His granddaughter Susan did her duty and signed up to fight the growing Dalek threat. There are 2 stories in this box set, The Last Son by Sarah Cassidy and The Golden Child by Peter Angerhalder. So the third box set in Susan's War is titled Grandfather Time. A release month has not been given, so the release is unknown, date is unknown, and stars Carol Ann Ford as Susan, with the writers for this box set being David Llewellyn and Andrew Smith. The synopsis is as follows. No Gallifreyan was safe from the Time War whilst the Doctor resisted the call. His granddaughter Susan did her duty and signed up to fight the growing Dalek threat. Similar to the last box set, there's 2 stories in this box set, with The Last of the Calleds by David Llewellyn and The Void Alliance by Andrew Smith. Next up, on the 14th of June 2024, the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven was announced, which releases in July 2024, which stars Michael Charlton as the Doctor, Fraser Hines as Jamie McCrinnan, Wendy Padbury as Zoe Harriet, Jacqueline King as Anki, and Emma Noakes as Raven. The Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven is written by Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs, with the director being Nicholas Briggs. Jamie has gone missing, while Zoe apparently returns after a lifetime away from the TARDIS. Does even the sinister Time Lord Raven realise the true extent of the conspiracy in which she is embroiled? The Doctor and his friends must fight to uncover the truth. The first story box set is Kippers, written by Nicholas Briggs. The Doctor and Jamie have attempted to break through from performing covert missions for the Time Lord Agent Raven, but things haven't gone according to plan. Jamie has vanished. Raven finds herself in a familiar yet strangely disturbing location, and all the while half-glimpse unknowingly perceives something fluttering, buzzing, tugging at their very souls. The second story of this box set is titled Catastrophe Theory, written by Mark Wright. When the Doctor comes face to face with Zoe, can he be sure it really is his old friend? Jamie is lost somewhere in the cosmos, and the Doctor must find him from a pleasure cruiser on course for destruction to an alien world invaded by savage warriors. The Doctor faces catastrophe at every turn, but what has become of Raven? The final story, the third and final story in this box set, is titled The Vanishing Point, written by both Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs. The third and final story in this box is titled The Vanishing Point, written by both Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs. Following the threads of a conspiracy twisting throughout all of time and space, the Doctor and his companions head to the Vanishing Point, a mythical place said to exist between science and music. This is a journey from which they may never return. Before I show the trailer, we've had some interesting news in the Big Finish magazine titled Vortex. Vortex can exclusively reveal that rather than one Second Doctor set a year, there will now be 2. Nicholas Briggs adds, because it's been so well received, we'll be increasing the frequency of the Second Doctor Adventures box sets to 2 a year in the not so distant future, but more on that later. Here is the trailer for the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Second Doctor Adventures, Conspiracy of Raven.
Do your worst, Raven, if you can. I refuse! Kippers, we're perfectly friendly, so there's no need for you to...
Do something with the missing! Do something!
Some idiotic, ineffectual fiddling, you mean? Jamie? Jamie! We got to her!
Doctor? Is it really you?
I didn't catch that. What's he saying? What's happened to the feed from the TARDIS?
What's going on?
Oh, the TARDIS made a slight course correction, it seems. Yes.
Oh, feathered goddess!
What?
The warp engines are out of phase!
Come on, Let's see if we can effect a 3-phase bypass.
You just made that up.
What was that?
Jamie? Zoe? When I say run,
We know! Run!
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the Second Doctor Adventures Conspiracy of Raven, which releases in July 2024.